Between 1764 and 1767, something in rural France killed over 100 people, and nobody's ever agreed on what it was. The Gévaudan region sits in south-central France, a landscape of dense forests and isolated villages. In the spring of 1764, livestock began disappearing. Sheep first, then cattle. Farmers assumed wolves a common enough threat, but what came next wasn't a wolf. It was something that moved differently, killed differently, and left the entire kingdom questioning what walked those forests at night. On June 30th, 1764, a young woman named Jean Boulet was attacked while tending her family's animals. She survived, but her account shattered the wolf theory. She described something upright, something that moved with purpose and intelligence. Within weeks, more attacks followed. A child, an elderly man, each survivor told the same story, something that didn't fit any known animal. By autumn of 1764, the death toll had climbed to over 60. The French crown took notice. King Louis Roman XV dispatched a professional wolf hunter named Jean Chastel to investigate. This wasn't a casual assignment. The beast, as it was now called, had become a national crisis. Panic rippled through the countryside. Parents kept children indoors. Travel became dangerous. An entire region lived in fear. Chastel spent months tracking the creature. He examined kill sites, interviewed witnesses, studied the pattern of attacks. What he documented didn't match any wolf behavior on record. The wounds were too precise. The selection of prey too deliberate. Some kills suggested the creature was hunting for something other than food, almost as if it was driven by something darker, something personal. The beast continued its rampage through 1765. Over 100 documented deaths now. The descriptions from survivors grew more detailed and more disturbing. A reddish-brown coat, abnormally large teeth, eyes that reflected light unnaturally. Some witnesses swore it had human-like features. Others insisted it was purely animal. The inconsistencies only deepened the mystery. Theories emerged: werewolf, escaped big cat from a nobleman's collection, hyena, deformed wolf, a man-beast hybrid. Each theory had supporters. Each one fell apart under scrutiny. The scientific community of the time couldn't agree. The church offered exorcisms. Commoners whispered about curses. Nobody had answers, only fear. Then, in June 1767, the attacks simply stopped. A final killing, a teenage boy, marked what would be the last recorded attack. Chastel claimed to have shot the beast himself, though the creature's body was never definitively examined by modern standards. A local autopsy suggested it was a wolf, possibly diseased or deformed. But by then, doubt had already taken root. What makes the Gévaudan case different from typical cryptid encounters is the sheer documentation. Hundreds of eyewitness accounts, official records, church documents. We're not dealing with a single sighting or folklore. We're dealing with a sustained, recorded phenomenon that stumped authorities at the time and still puzzles researchers today. Modern cryptozoologists have proposed several explanations. A large, possibly rabid wolf with unusual coloration, an escaped or wild hyena, a lion or leopard. Some argue for a rare animal entirely unknown to science. The problem? Each theory has gaps. Each one leaves questions the evidence doesn't answer cleanly. The eyewitness descriptions, when compiled, paint something unusual. The creature's size varied in accounts, but its behavior remained consistent. Selective targeting, apparent intelligence, and a preference for attacking in ways that maximized suffering rather than efficiency. This suggests either a highly intelligent animal or something that defied conventional animal behavior entirely. The Chastel shooting itself remains controversial. The animal killed was presented as the beast, but no comprehensive examination survives. Descriptions of the corpse varied wildly. Some said it was clearly a wolf. Others insisted it was something else entirely. The body was either buried or lost to history. We'll never know with certainty what Chastel actually killed. What's fascinating from a cryptozoological standpoint is the geographic and temporal specificity. The beast appeared in one region during a defined period, then vanished. It didn't migrate. It didn't establish a breeding population. Either it died or it left. The pattern suggests something anomalous, not typical of any known predator's behavior. DNA analysis of the supposedly killed beast would have settled this decades ago, but no preserved remains exist in any accessible collection. The closest we have are period descriptions, witness accounts, and Chastel's claim. It's evidence, yes, but not the kind that holds up in a modern courtroom or laboratory. Some researchers argue the beast was simply a diseased wolf, rabies causing behavioral abnormalities, explaining the aggression and apparent intelligence. Plausible, but it doesn't account for the anatomical descriptions, the reports of size, the observations about its movement. A rabid wolf is still recognizably a wolf. Others propose an escaped exotic cat, a lion or leopard from a nobleman's menagerie. 18th century France had wealthy collectors. Big cats were status symbols. An escape wouldn't be unthinkable, but there's no record of a missing animal, no documented loss, no confirmation from any contemporary source. The truth is we may never know. The Beast of Gévaudan remains one of history's most documented yet unsolved predator cases. Over 100 deaths, hundreds of witnesses, decades of investigation, and still ambiguity. It's a reminder that even with evidence, even with records, some mysteries refuse to yield their secrets. What we know is this: something killed in the Gévaudan between 1764 and 1767. It wasn't a typical wolf. It wasn't documented as an escape. It showed behavioral patterns that seemed almost intentional, and then it was gone. Whether it was an unknown animal, a rare anomaly, or something else entirely, the evidence suggests we're still missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Subscribe for deep dives into historical mysteries and cryptid cases where the evidence demands investigation, not folklore.